In June 2025, when my boss Rick mocked me as useless before my team and fired me from the job I'd poured my soul into, claiming my work as his own to hide his betrayal with a rival firm, I vowed to make him regret it, turning his smug victory into an epic fall that left him begging for mercy, proving I was anything but useless for my daughter Lily in the world. I'm Alex, a 38-year-old IT guy, single dad to my 9-year-old daughter. Lily, who thinks I can fix anything? My work kept Apex Solutions breathing, servers humming in their Chicago data center, clients calling from New York to Tokyo. Life was a grind but mine, between coding late nights and Sunday football with Lily in our Chicago apartment, Lake Michigan's waves crashing outside, the city's skyline glowing under a summer haze, dreaming of Lily's coding camp. Then Rick, the new manager, rolled in, his smirk sharper than a knife, his suit screaming Silicon Valley arrogance. 6 months back, he trashed my system fix in a meeting, grinning as he called it useless garbage, while my team sat silent, their eyes fixed on the conference table. I swallowed the humiliation, thinking I could outwork him, my fingers flying over the keyboard to keep Apex's systems alive. I was wrong. He'd already decided I was in his way, a thorn in his climb to the top. That Friday crushed me. Rick summoned me to his office at 4 p.m., eyes flicking over his phone, voice like steel. "Alex, we're done with you," he said. "Your job's useless now. Pack up, get out." I stood there, heart racing, hands clenched. Useless? I've carried this company's tech for 10 years. Rick, clients know my name. Give me a real reason. He leaned back, smirking, his watch glinting under the fluorescent lights. "You're not what we need. Alex, clear out by 5 p.m. The office went silent as I walked out, eyes avoiding mine, the hum of printers and keyboards mocking me. The Chicago wind hit me hard on Michigan Avenue, the city's towers looming like judges. I felt like I'd let Lily down. Her school fees, our rent, her dreams of coding camp, all fading. I sat in my car, Rick's smirk burning in my head. Useless. He thought he'd make me disappear. He didn't know I'd fight back. At home, Lily's crayons covered the kitchen table, her laughter echoing from her room where she played with her tablet. I couldn't face her yet, not with this weight on my chest. I opened my laptop, digging through work files, old code, emails, my coffee growing cold. That's when it hit me. Rick's mockery wasn't just talk. He'd been stealing my fixes, my work, passing them off as his to the board. That meeting was a setup to break me, to erase my 10 years at Apex. I wasn't useless. I was a threat. That night, something snapped inside. Rick would regret this. I'd make him pay, not just for me, but for Lily, for our future. I wasn't letting Rick win. His smirk, calling me useless in that glass-walled conference room, lit a fire I couldn't put out. I started digging, calling up old coworkers, piecing together his dirty game over late-night calls. That's when the truth slammed into me, hard and ugly. I met Jake, Mia, and Claire at a dive bar off Michigan Avenue. Sticky tables and dim lights, the jukebox playing Springsteen. Jake, a network analyst with a mind like a chess master, slammed his beer down, his voice tight. "Rick didn't just fire you, Alex. He canned me, said my work was pointless. Same day, same lie." Mia, a coder I'd trained from her first bug, nodded, her eyes burning. "Rick praised my code to the team, but Claire caught him scheming." Claire, our systems lead, leaned in, her glasses glinting as she whispered her doubts, voice sharp. "He's playing dirty. Alex, he's building a throne on our backs, kicking us out to pad his resume." Their words were a gut punch. Rick wasn't just a bad boss. He was a predator, tearing down anyone who didn't bow to him. I thought about Lily, her belief I could fix anything, her drawings taped to our fridge. I couldn't let Rick steal that from her. from us. We needed proof, something to burn him down. I still had an old admin access to Apex's servers, a leftover from my early days building their network. Late that night, I tried it, my heart pounding, the city's lights flickering outside. The screen flashed red. Access denied. I cursed, my fist hitting the desk, the sound echoing in my quiet apartment. I was out of my league, and Rick was slipping away, his lies burying me deeper. That's when I called Sam, a cybersecurity genius I'd worked with years ago at a startup. He could crack systems like they were glass, his mind a maze of code. I laid it all out, voice cracking, the Chicago skyline staring back through my window. Sam, Rick's destroying us. He's not just firing us, he's stealing our work, mocking us in front of everyone. I need you, for Lily, for everyone he's hurt. Sam paused, his breath heavy over the line. Alex, if we get caught, my career's toast. This is huge. I pushed harder, words like a blade. It's bigger than us. Sam, Rick thinks he's untouchable. Let's show him he's not. He sighed, then said, I'm in, but this better work. Man. Days later, Sam struck gold, one line freezing my blood. He pulled emails from Rick's account, raw and damning, each one a nail in Rick's coffin. Get rid of Alex and his team. One read, they're useless, holding us back. Another showed Rick had claimed my security patches, my late-night fixes that saved millions, as his own to impress the board. My hands shook, the laptop's glow harsh in the dark. The screen's light was cold in my dark apartment. The worst was a note hinting he'd ignored a system flaw I'd flagged, risking client data to cut costs. Then Sam found a vague reference to CyberPeak, a rival firm, in Rick's emails. They're paying me to keep things quiet, it said, cryptic but damning. My blood froze. Was Rick selling out Apex, betraying the company we'd built? This was bigger than I thought, a web of lies stretching beyond my firing. But then came a blow I didn't see coming. Jake called me late, voice trembling, the city's hum faint in the background. Alex, I messed up bad, he whispered. Rick threatened to tank my career, said I'd be blacklisted across Chicago. I leaked some info, nothing big, just enough to stay safe. I should have told you. It felt like a knife in my chest. Jake, the guy I'd trained for years, who'd crashed on my couch during crunch times, had betrayed me. I wanted to scream, to cut him off, but I heard his guilt, his fear, his voice breaking. I took a breath, voice firm. You want to make this right. Jake, work with me. Feed Rick lies. Get me something to bury him. He paused, then said, I'm in. I owe you. Alex, that betrayal stung, but it fueled me. Rick thought he could divide us, scare us quiet with his threats. He was wrong. Jake, Mia, Claire, Sam, and I, we were a team now, forged in this fight, meeting in diners and late-night Zoom calls. Claire's eyes blazed as she mapped our plan, her notebook filled with timelines. Rick's not just stealing your work. Alex, he's selling Apex out, maybe to CyberPeak, and he's got the board fooled with his charm. Mia's voice was steel, her fingers tapping code on her laptop. He thinks we'll break because he's got power. Let's hit him where it hurts. Show everyone he's a fraud. Jake stayed quiet, his fingers flying, pulling data to fix his mistake, his face pale but determined. I looked at them, my heart pounding, the Chicago skyline glowing outside. This wasn't just my fight, it was for every coder Rick had crushed. We needed a bigger play. I got a call from Tara, CEO of IronGate, a Chicago startup hungry to shake up tech. She'd heard about my work, the patches pulling in millions for Apex. We met at a diner off Lakeshore Drive, the city's lights sparkling on the water, the smell of burgers and coffee thick in the air. Alex, I know what Rick did, Tara said, voice fierce, her eyes locked on mine. Join us. Build something Apex can't touch. Make them regret it. I shook her hand, hope sparking. The diner's neon sign buzzing above. Iron Gate was my chance to rise, to build something for Lily. I wasn't wasting it. Every morning, I brewed coffee, staring at Lake Michigan, the city waking up below. I built Iron Gate's system, my code flowing like a river. It was fast. It was bulletproof. It was better than anything at Apex. Every line a defiance of Rick's lies. Every line of code was a vow to Lily, to prove I was useless, to secure her future. We timed our launch to crash Apex's big reveal, a direct hit at Rick's ego. I pictured his face when our system stole his thunder, his smirk crumbling. That kept me going through sleepless nights, my apartment lit by the laptop's glow. But Sam called at midnight, voice urgent. Rick's hacker is hitting Iron Gate's servers, thinking he's slick. I traced it to him. My heart raced, picturing our system crumbling before launch. Sam's firewall stopped the attack, his voice triumphant. Got him, he said, laughing. But it shook us. Rick was watching, and he was fighting dirty, his desperation clear. We weren't backing down. Rick thought he'd buried me, thought his lies would hold. He was about to see how wrong he was, how deep his fall would be. Then came the moment that changed everything. Jen, our data analyst, dug into Rick's phone logs, pulling a recording that hit like a sledgehammer. His voice, smug and icy, told his team, Alex was useless. His ideas were mine. Make sure he's gone for good. I played it over, each word a spark in my gut, my hands trembling. This wasn't just a firing. It was a setup to wipe me out, to erase my legacy at Apex. But there was more. Sam found an email chain buried deep, showing Rick had taken money from a rival, CyberPeak, to weaken Apex's systems and pin the blame on us. My jaw dropped, the screen's glow burning my eyes, the city silent outside. Rick wasn't just a thief. He was a traitor, selling out the company for a payday, risking client data for his greed. We had him now. Claire got a contact at the Chicago Tribune, a reporter itching for a scoop on corporate fraud. I filed a complaint with Apex's board, my hands steady, knowing this was just the start. But the stakes were climbing. Late one night, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Back off, or you're finished. I stared at the screen, heart racing. Lily asleep in her room, her drawings glowing under a nightlight. Jen felt the heat too, her voice shaky the next day. This is no joke. Alex, what if Rick's got bigger players behind him? I looked at her, voice firm, my resolve unbreakable. He's scared, Jen. That means we're winning. We keep pushing. Sam tightened Iron Gate's defenses, his fingers a blur, his energy relentless. He traced another hack attempt, straight to Rick's hired goon. Caught him, Sam said, grinning, his voice crackling with victory. But the close call rattled us. Rick was desperate, and desperate men play dirty, their moves unpredictable. I sat in my apartment, the Chicago skyline flickering outside, my mind racing. That recording, that email, they were dynamite, ready to blow Rick's world apart. But using them meant going all in, risking everything, exposing us to his retaliation. I thought of Lily, her trust in me, her voice saying, "You can fix it, Dad." I thought of Rick's smirk, his lies, his theft of my work. This wasn't just about me anymore. It was about everyone he'd crushed, everyone he'd called useless, every coder he'd pushed out. We were ready. The launch event was days away. Rick thought he'd walk away clean, my stolen work in his hands, his victory assured. He was wrong. We'd hit him where it hurt, and the world would see his fall. I stood outside Apex's launch event, the Chicago skyline blazing, my pulse hammering, the city's energy pulsing through me. Rick was inside, ready to unveil my stolen patch, his crew clapping like trained dogs, their suits crisp, their loyalty bought. He thought I'd fade away, a nobody he'd crushed under his heel. He was about to learn. I had his voice, his lies, my system ready to outshine his. I straightened my jacket, every moment of this fight burning in my chest. 10 years of code, of loyalty, of fighting for Lily, of proving I was more than useless. This wasn't revenge, it was justice, raw and undeniable. I stepped inside, the room buzzing, screens flashing Apex's logo, the air thick with anticipation. Rick stood on stage, suit sharp, grin wide, his voice slick as oil. "This is our future," he said, gesturing to the screens. "My vision, built by my team." He pitched my patch as his own, the crowd eating it up, their applause deafening. My stomach churned. He'd erased me, stolen my work, claimed my legacy. I pushed forward, phone in hand, Lily's faith driving me through the crowd. I reached the front, voice sharp, cutting through the noise. "Rick, you're a liar and a fraud." The room froze. Heads turned, murmurs rippling. Rick's grin slipped, his eyes narrowing, his confidence cracking. "This guy's a nobody," he laughed, waving me off, his voice forced. "Security, toss him out." I hit play. Rick's voice thundered through a speaker Sam had hacked, his words a blade slicing through the room. Alex was useless. His ideas were mine. Rick's face froze on the jumbotron, his lies exposed to thousands. The crowd gasping, phones lit up, recording every second. Social media erupting with clips. Others whispered in panic. Screams drowned Rick's voice as executives fled. Rick stammered, sweat beading on his forehead, his lies unraveling like cheap thread. Jen stood, voice fierce, her presence commanding. "You didn't just fire us, Rick. You stole our work to prop yourself up, to hide your failures." Claire joined in, eyes blazing, her words sharp as glass. "You took money from CyberPeak, risked our clients' data, just to save your skin." The room exploded, boos echoing, an investor dropping his phone, face pale. I saw Apex's CTO, face tight, heading for the exit, his trust in Rick shattered. "We're done, Rick," he said, voice cold, his words final. Investors followed, trust in Apex crumbling, their footsteps loud in the chaos. Then Iron Gate's system launched, right on cue, its launch timed to perfection. My encryption made Rick's patch look like a toy, outdated and weak. News alerts flashed on phones, showing Apex's system failing while Iron Gate's soared, its interface sleek, its security unbreakable. Downloads hit 2.5 million in minutes, a ticker climbing on every screen. Apex's stock dropped 50% before the event ended, a death spiral in real time. Rick stood alone on stage, face pale, hands shaking, his empire collapsing under the weight of his lies. I looked at him, voice steady, every word deliberate. "You thought you could break me. Rick, you forgot. I don't quit." The crowd roared, some clapping, others shouting, their energy electric, cameras capturing every moment. Security moved toward me, but reporters blocked them, cameras rolling, our story spreading across Chicago and beyond. The world saw him fall, but my fight wasn't over. Walking out into the Chicago night, the wind cool against my skin, the city's lights reflecting on the lake, I felt alive. Rick was finished, his career a smoking wreck, his name toxic in tech circles. Iron Gate's system was soaring, 2.5 million downloads and counting, its success a beacon for coders everywhere. I'd won, but it wasn't just about me. It was about Lily, about proving I was more than useless, about showing her what resilience looked like. 6 months later, I stood by Lake Michigan, Lily sprinting toward me, her grin brighter than the sunset, her sneakers kicking up sand. "Dad, you're awesome," she said, her arms tight around me, her voice full of pride. I held her close. Pain faded. I was free. Apex was a ghost, its new CEO scrambling to clean up Rick's mess, their brand a shadow of its former self. My team and I settled our claims, walking away with enough to secure our futures, our bonds stronger than ever. But the real win was the truth, blazing for all to see, a victory for every worker Rick had crushed. I led Iron Gate's tech team, building systems that put Chicago on the tech map, our office buzzing with coders who believed in our mission. Jake launched his startup, a network security firm that rivaled the best. His redemption earned through hard work. Mia mentored coders, her classes packed with students eager to learn, her passion infectious. We held a rally by the lake. Hundreds shouted under the Chicago sky, their signs waving, their stories shared. Our story hit home, sparking talks over beers in Chicago bars and small-town coffee shops. We set up a local tech club, teaching kids like Lily to code, their eyes bright with dreams we'd fought for. A coder named Leo grabbed my hand at the rally, eyes bright, his voice thick with emotion. "You gave me the courage to fight," he said, his grip firm. I hugged him, my heart full, knowing this was why we fought, why we stood up. Lily's code lit the screen as she built her first app, her laughter filling our apartment, her creativity unstoppable. "You're my hero, Dad," she said, her eyes fierce, her belief in me unshakable. That moment was worth every trial, every sleepless night. A Tribune article revealed Rick faced fraud charges, his name now a warning in tech circles, his legacy in ruins. He tried crawling back at a tech summit, his suit worn, voice desperate, his arrogance gone. "Alex, I underestimated you," he begged. "Let's team up. We could do great things." I looked at him, calm but hard, my voice steady. "You're a nobody now, Rick." I walked away, the crowd cheering, his shadow gone forever. I stood on a stage months later, the spotlight warm, sharing our story with a packed auditorium. They called me useless. I built something unstoppable. They tried to silence us. We roared louder. The crowd surged, their cheers shaking the room, their energy a wave of hope. This isn't just my story, it's yours. Every one of you who's been pushed down, called nothing. If you've been pushed down, stand up, fight back, with your work, your voice, your truth. Share your fight in the comments. Inspire millions across Chicago, across the world. We're just getting started, and the future is ours.